Let's kind of what is energy healing? What kind of work do you do? And then we'll get into your story.
So my work, in my opinion, is unique because I don't use guides. I don't have what I call middlemen. I'm able to connect directly with the divine, God, universe, whatever title you want to put on that. It's not religious. It's just this divine source energy that I can just plug into at will. And so then what happens is, for whatever reason, and I still don't know why, my body has been built to take this enormous amount of energy. So the way I kind of like to explain it is it's like plugging into 100,000 volts of electricity. And for whatever reason, my body can handle it, because then what it does is it separates it. So let's say there's 100 people in the room. My body will separate it into 100 different strands of energy so that each person is getting an individual healing. So I get all this energy, and then I'm able to separate it into separate strands of light energy. And I describe it like I'm the spoke of a wheel, and everybody I'm working with is I'm the hub. I'm sorry, I'm the hub, and everybody has a spoke. So because we're all unique, because we're all different, because we all have different needs and wants and soul paths and all of that, you can't in my work just blast everybody with the same energy, because it's not appropriate that way for everybody. So for some reason, I'm able to separate it, and whether there's 100 people or 1,000 people, there's different strands of energy to each person, and at the same time, the entire group as a group gets worked on with group energy. So it's really cool.
So cool.
It's really cool. And I my position is I get to observe this. I'm the one that's the conduit, but I get to observe what's happening with the energy and what's happening with each person and what's going on. And I monitor the space so to make sure the space is always sacred and protected and all of that. And so it's fascinating because everybody has a different experience. And because the frequency and the vibration that comes through me is so high, sometimes people don't even feel it because it's outside their range of understanding. And sometimes it's jolting to people, and sometimes it's both. But most of the time people feel warmth, they feel tingling, they feel something happening in their body, because the purpose of this energy is to enter the body and literally explode the density in the body, that's packed on emotions from lifetimes and lineages and all that. Explode those big packages of density, open up so that there's stagnation goes away, so the body can once again breathe this beautiful divine energy, which is what creates the healing. So
Wow.
that's the quick version of it.
Yeah.
Um,
It, it's so funny because as you were describing the spoke, and so these little lights of energy are going, streams of energy are going out to the various people in the room. And then I thought of bespoke. It's bespoke to them. They're spokes on the wheel.
I should say that I'm a bespoke healer now.
Yeah, I'm a bespoke channeler of light.
Yeah,
So do you said you kind of manage the energy in the room. Do you actually see light? What do you observe through your
I
eyes?
can I can see everything that's happening, and and we'll get to that in a minute. But when I first started doing this work, when I was asked by the divine to do this work, since I had been a CEO for most of my life, I wanted to negotiate the terms of the deal, right?
Funny.
And I can't believe I'm negotiating with God, but it's kind of funny now. But what I knew at the time was that I knew very little about healing, but I'd heard that a lot of healers went into a trance. And I demanded at the time that I not go into a trance, because I wanted to be able to observe what was happening so I could understand what was happening, so I could explain it to somebody if I needed to. So so I'm an observer and a conduit. So I'm seeing the energy, and I'm seeing what happens to people. I'm seeing where it's going in their body. And over all these years, I'm on my 21st year now. Um, I intuitively know what's happening because it happens really fast.
Hmm.
I mean, so imagine, so if you were in the room and you were the only person I'm working with, I take one quick look at you and it's like a Xerox machine. It does a quick scan of you, And all of that information goes up and then comes back in the form of light into my body and then back into your body. And it happens, in a millisecond, but I can see what happens. So it's like I'm in almost slow motion, even though it happened faster than you can even imagine. I'm aware of what's happening and why and where it is. And the other deal that I made 21 years ago is I said, I want to understand. I'm happy to do this work for you. I want to observe it and I want to understand it. So please answer any questions that I have, like, why do you keep going to the liver for this reason, or the pancreas for that reason, or the heart, or why are you doing that, and what is it about the heart that's creating the challenge in the body that you're now getting rid of? So I've become I've got a lot of knowledge about what happens in the physical, mental, and etheric bodies and the energy body, because I get to witness it all the time. And the other thing that I love about it is it keeps me interested. If I went into a trance every time, I'd probably get bored, right? But every healing to me is like exciting because everyone's different. And I don't know the outcome. I don't know that if we do this, that's going to happen, because we got your free will in the middle of all that, and your belief and your faith and all that. And so I don't know what's going to happen. So it's always, kind of fun for me. Like, okay, let's see what happens now. And I'm like a little boy in a magic shop that gets to play in this amazing magic every day, and with just the excitement of knowing that anything and everything is possible.
And we will get to some of the amazing healing stories in a second, but let's get back into your story.
Okay.
And tell us how 21 years ago, what had been going on in your life that sat you on that beach in Seal Beach.
Right down from your house.
Yeah, exactly. Because I think it's a fascinating story, and I love it because, as you were just describing, I feel like a kid. And oftentimes when we stray from what we were put on the planet to do and the things that brought us joy and our gifts as a child, and, we choose the safe route or the pressure of society or our authoritarian figures, we choose a path that isn't what we're meant to do, and the joy is sapped from us. But then I think the universe, God, spirit, source, whatever you want to call it, taps you, nudges you, yells at you, whaps you over the head with life circumstances to wake you up to get back on that true path. And when you are on that true path, I believe you do feel that childlike exuberance because you're in so much alignment with what you're here to do.
And before I go to my story, you reminded me of something that I think is really important. And that is that every event, it's really important for us to be grateful for every event. And, people are like selectively grateful. I'm really grateful I got this new car, but boy, my back hurts. Or, I got a flat tire and I missed my plane, and boy, I'm really upset. And what I say to people is, you don't know why you got a flat tire, or why you missed your plane, or why you got a headache, or why you don't know what was coming that could have not been so good for you. So it's really important to be grateful for everything, even anything. It's not, I'm grateful for this and I'm mad about this. It's like, I'm grateful for everything, because everything that happens in your life is putting you on a trajectory that you're supposed to be on. And if you stay in gratitude, like you said, it gets more exciting and more fun and more explosive. And you're like, man, this is really cool, because I stay in faith, I stay in trust, and I'm always grateful for everything. Even if I stub my toe and fall down, there's a reason for that.
Yeah.
And we don't know what it is, but deciding whether we're mad about it or grateful for it is our choice. And boy, if you just say, oh, wow, thank you for doing that, and I'm grateful for that. So I wanted to say that because that's really important, I think, in the healing work.
Thank you for listening to the Heal with Kelly podcast. Be sure to tune in every Thursday for more empowering wisdom and inspiring healing stories. And make sure you hit the follow button on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts so you don't miss that one episode that holds the answer you've been searching for. Oh, and if you found this episode inspiring, please rate, review, and share Heal with Kelly so that we can grow our audience and reach more people. We truly appreciate it. Lots of love.